Hi, I'm Nicole. Life was going pretty smoothly until that unexpected gallbladder surgery turned my world inside out. I never thought being unconscious would actually wake me up to the truth about the people closest to me. Ready for pre-op, Mrs. Anderson? The nurse was checking my vitals. Honey, you'll be fine. Jessica and I will be right here when you wake up. Mark squeezed my hand, and my sister nodded with what I now realize was fake concern. Just counting on you two to keep each other company. I had no idea how literally they'd take that. Mrs. Anderson, I'm Clara, your post-op nurse. The procedure will take about 2 hours. Will I be completely out? Yes, medically induced coma. Don't worry, we monitor everything. The next thing I remember was drifting in and out of consciousness. Voices floated around me, but I couldn't respond. Then I heard something that made my heart stop. 5 years, Mark. We can't keep hiding this. Lower your voice, Jess. She might hear us. She's completely under. That's what the nurse said. Speaking of which, we need to be careful. That redhead nurse keeps walking by. Look, once she's recovered, we need to figure something out. I can't keep pretending everything's normal at family dinners. You think I enjoy watching you play perfect little sister? Just stick to the plan. I wanted to scream, to jump up and confront them, but my body wouldn't move. The medication kept me paralyzed while my husband and sister discussed their betrayal like they were planning a surprise party. Mrs. Anderson? Clara's voice cut through my fog. Can you hear me? Surgery went well. I opened my eyes to see Mark and Jessica standing there, wearing those concerned faces that had fooled me for years. Hey, sis. Jessica touched my arm. I wanted to flinch away but managed to stay still. The doctor said everything went perfectly. Mark kissed my forehead and I fought the urge to vomit. She needs rest. Clara shooed them out, then lingered behind. Mrs. Anderson, I think there's something you should know. I looked at her, my heart pounding. I heard some things while you were under. I recorded it on my phone. Hospital policy requires us to document anything unusual during recovery. My world was about to shatter, but at least I wouldn't face the pieces alone. I recorded everything on my phone. Clara pulled up an audio file. Listen. I'm not sure I can handle this right now. My hands were shaking. You deserve to know the truth. I've worked here 15 years, seen a lot of bad stuff. But this? The recording played, and my sister's voice filled the room. Remember our first time at the beach house? While she was at that work conference? How could I forget? 5 amazing years, Jess. Sometimes I wish we could just tell her, and risk losing everything? No way, once she signs over her part of Dad's company shares. I felt bile rising in my throat. My father's software company. I owned 40% of the shares. Hey girl, I came as soon as you called. Rachel burst into the room, her face tight with concern. Did you bring your laptop? Everything you asked for? Financial records, property deeds? Mrs. Anderson, I can testify if needed. Clara handed me her phone. I've already backed up the recording. Their whole plan was to get my inheritance while sleeping together behind my back? We need to document everything. Rachel opened her laptop. Bank statements show large transfers between their accounts. Look at these text messages. Clara scrolled through her phone. They were so caught up in their conversation they didn't even notice me. Should have seen what an amazing sister she is, covering my business trips. Mark's voice dripped with sarcasm on the recording. Those business trips to the beach house? I grabbed Rachel's laptop. Pull up the property records. Already did. Purchased 3 years ago under an LLC. Guess who owns it? Let me guess, my loving sister? Joint ownership, her and Mark. Got something else? Clara pointed to her screen. Security footage from the hospital parking lot. They've been here together way before your surgery. All those times she volunteered to keep me company at the hospital? We've got them. Rachel squeezed my hand. Question is, what do you want to do with all this? I stared at the hospital ceiling, my mind racing through 8 years of marriage, family dinners, shared holidays, all lies. I want them to feel as blindsided as I do right now. But first, we need more proof. Already working on it, Rachel typed furiously. Your dad's company meeting is next month. Might be the perfect opportunity. They won't see it coming. I gripped the hospital bed rails. Neither of them will. You're right. I apologize for the continuity error. Let me revise Chapter 3 to maintain consistency with Nicole being in the hospital during recovery. The pain meds should be wearing off soon. Clara checked my IV. Perfect timing. Jessica texted she's bringing lunch. Ready to put on a show? Rachel adjusted the hidden recorder in my hospital room. Jessica arrived with a paper bag. Brought your favorite soup, sis. You're too kind. I forced a smile. How's the recovery going? These meds keep me pretty out of it. I pretended to drift off. The recorder caught her phone call. She's asleep, get over here. Minutes later, Mark arrived. Any progress with the paperwork? Working on it. She's still groggy. Perfect time to discuss those company shares. Got it all, Rachel whispered from behind the privacy curtain. Later, Mark pulled out documents. Honey, maybe I should handle the business decisions while you recover. You're so thoughtful. I signed the decoy papers Rachel had prepared. Look what I caught. I showed Clara the footage after they left. The family meeting tomorrow will expose everything. Rachel checked her notes. Mom visited with flowers. Jessica, you're such a devoted sister. Someone needs to handle things while she's recovering. Jessica smirked. About those company decisions. Mark started. Already taken care of. I smiled. Rachel helped me with everything. Their faces froze. Rachel, Jessica stuttered. Yes, isn't it wonderful having people you can trust? Under my blanket, I pressed record, capturing their panic. To family. I raised my water cup. And karma. The company boardroom fell silent as I pulled up the recordings on the projector screen. Before we discuss any share transfers, I have something interesting to share. Mark lunged for his briefcase. We should adjourn. Sit down. My voice cut through the room. Everyone needs to hear this. The audio played crystal clear. Their beach house conversations, hospital plotting, everything. That's not... It's fake. Jessica stood up, shaking. Really? Let's ask Clara. She recorded it all. Clara stepped in. As a registered nurse, I'm legally required to report patient endangerment. You planned this during my surgery? Mom's face crumbled. 5 years. I clicked through bank statements. The beach house, the secret accounts, all while planning to steal my inheritance? You can't prove anything, Mark shouted. Actually, she can. Rachel passed out documents. Every meeting, every transaction, all documented. Jessica, your nursing license is already under review. Clara stepped forward. Patient exploitation carries serious penalties. And Mark, your law firm's ethics board received quite a package this morning. I smiled as his phone started buzzing. You're making a mistake. Jessica grabbed her purse. No, your mistake was threatening me in the hospital. That's criminal harassment. Security blocked the doorway. The police have everything. I stood up. But first, let's discuss those share transfers you wanted. You vindictive, Mark started. Choose your next words carefully. Rachel pointed to the still recording camera. Mom reached for my hand. I'm so sorry, honey. Don't be. They showed their true colors. Now everyone else can see them too. Your partnership is terminated, effective immediately. Mark's phone speaker blared. And the nursing board requests an emergency hearing. Clara read from her tablet. I gathered my things. Meeting adjourned. Rachel, ready for lunch? Right behind you. By the way, the beach house looks great in the asset seizure photos. As we left, their world crumbled behind us. Sometimes karma needs a little push. What would you do if you discovered your spouse and sibling betrayed you during your most vulnerable moment? Would you expose them immediately? Or plan an elaborate revenge like Nicole did? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this tale of justice served cold, hit like and subscribe for more gripping stories of triumph over betrayal. Let me know what kind of revenge stories you'd like to hear next.